he's mentally checked out. He's doing his bit, but doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I always put this back into my own head, which is, you're pedaling around. You're a bit pissed off. It's not like our world where we can just keep looking for jobs. We'll find something and then we'll move on.
Yeah.
He knows he's got to stick it out until January. He's doing his bare minimum.
Exactly.
And fuck it.
Yeah, and he's probably going to be there after January in reality, isn't he?
Well, possibly. I mean, but he's probably fucking miserable because he doesn't want to be there, and it's not like, oh, I don't want to be here, but you know what? At least we're doing something, and this is going somewhere, and I'm prepared to give it my all. He's looking going around. This is an absolute this is a car crash. Everyone can see it's a car crash, and all I'm seeing is my stock potentially devalue.
Which for him isn't so much of a problem, is it? But for Spurs, that's a problem, that it devalues.
Well, it's, you're right. It's less of a problem for him because there will still be some people that come for him. But at the same time, they're looking, if people were looking at his form, you're really taking a punt on perspective to say, well, Kane's really dropped off this season. He hasn't scored as many goals, this, that, and the other. You still got to believe he's got it in him and go, all right, fuck it. We're paid 130 million. We'll get him in. We'll give him 500 grand a week, whatever the number is.
Yeah.
But you're not doing that on the basis of, he's in peak form. You're doing it on the basis of, we can absolutely, as soon as he steps across the threshold, he'll be a new man.
Well, that's true.
And we know football works like that sometimes. But, he's doesn't. When I say he doesn't want to be there, am I being too harsh? I don't know. Jamie, what do you think? Am I being too harsh, or am I don't know. I can't decide whether I'm being dramatic or not.
I don't know. I think this obviously all links in with the West Ham game as well. Yesterday, we've probably glossed over the Conference League game now. But in terms of Kane, I can't work out what's going on with him. Is it more of a function of the fact that he's not getting the service, or the team generally aren't playing well? We're not playing attacking enough football, and as Andy says, taking risks. I just really don't know what the issue is. But obviously, looking at the at West Ham's goal yesterday, when you watch that back, I mean, there was a catalogue of errors.
There was a few there.
Leading up to that goal, where several of our players just went absolutely bombing in past the near post, and I don't know whether the ball came too late to Kane. He didn't anticipate it, but Antonio anticipated the ball coming to him.
Well, exactly. I bet you if Kane was in the opposite area, he would anticipate it and score.
He would have he would have cleanly connected with that with his left foot, spattered it top corner.
Exactly. And also Reggie, on the build up to that actual corner, he was the one that tried to knock it past. I think it was Fornells, wasn't it? So he won it at the edge of the area, tried to knock it past him the other side. So he was mucking around with the ball at the edge of the area. And when he came off, you could see Nuno have a word with him. And I think he was saying to Reggie, what the hell did you think you were doing at the edge of the area?
Yeah.
And, it's just stuff like that. It's stupid mistakes that we don't seem to be learning from. And I think a draw yesterday, to be fair, would have been a fair result.
Yeah, I think that just coming back to sort of, I suppose, the start of the game, I thought, from memory, and I thought at the time that we started quite brightly. We had several decent chances where we should have been 1-0 up. Sonny had a couple of chances. I think Kane had a chance as well.
He did.
We just started bright, then we just seemed to sort of regress back to playing without any particular purpose whatsoever. There were too many sideways passes, too many balls going backwards. But just, I don't know if you saw this tweet yesterday from Alan Fisher at 10:24 yesterday morning.
Spurs blogger.
Yep. Bearing in mind that 2:00 kickoff, he said, "Dear Nuno, West Ham scored loads of goals from corners, 8 yards out, just inside the near post. Big bloke running onto it. Hope this helps you in some small way. Yours sincerely, Al." And look what fucking happened.
Yeah, exactly.
I saw that, but I didn't actually see it until after the game.
Oh, okay.
And because for whatever reason, how these things happen. it popped up, and then I went and saw. And when I went, oh okay, and I looked at the timestamp, and it always said 8 hours ago or something like that, and I was like, what? And then then I clicked it a bit to make sure it wasn't like an image that had been photoshopped or something like that, but it was actually a real tweet that he tweeted.
Like, I saw it in the morning.
It was an absolute like kind of, you know, the guy knows, you know, he knew what was going to happen. It was like, great, can you get the lottery numbers?
Yeah, I know. Oh God, it's just that's the thing, isn't it? It is a car crash happening, isn't it? We're just seeing it in front of our eyes. It's a bit annoying, but at least I was able to watch the Man U Liverpool game afterwards, which made me feel a bit better. But...
Well, do you know, sorry, I know we're not here to talk about other people's games. However, I think after the game, I just went, I'm going to lie on the bed and just kind of like just chill out, just chill out and look at, you know, Instagram or something like that. You know, pictures of cats for a bit.
Yeah.
Something completely unrelated. And I don't know quite what happened. I think one of my other WhatsApp groups went, oh, you know, was like, oh my God, they're getting crushed or something like that. I just saw a message, and I was like, what? And then I saw something about 4-0. So I was like, oh my God, let me go look on BBC Sport. Saw that, and I was like, right, I'm going to watch the second half because I need cheering up. So even though I had to sort of mentally fuzz out Jurgen Klopp's, you know, smug face, I was quite happily watching it all fall apart for Man U. Just for no other reason, it's good to see somebody else in a worse painful situation than us. Not that our situation is great or their situation is great.
Yeah, I know. It is funny, isn't it? That whole kind of short and prouder thing is brilliant. It's a brilliant feeling.
However, I know this. However, we're playing next weekend, and as always, what will happen for us is he'll get fucking sacked, and then we'll end up with the caretaker manager bouts. Like, you know, we'll have the same thing we had against Newcastle. I appreciate in the end we managed to silence that down, but we really can't afford them to be on their uppers next weekend. We need anything we can get.
Yeah, we certainly do. Yeah, it might require quite a lot of beer before next week's game. I think that's probably going to have to be the plan. Yeah,
well, I'll be there next week, Andy, down at Redemption. So you know the beer's
got to happen.
It's going to happen.
Flowing, but
I think we'll have to do. Are we going to do a little revenge and flyby?
Flyby.
You know, sort of. You know, we'll go to Redemption. We'll have a drink. That's what.
Oh, I see what you mean.
I was just trying to be cool for the kids that listen to the podcast. Oh my God.
Yeah, well, it completely went over my head, but
well, don't worry about that. Andy can always go back in and edit that bit out.
Why, he's never edited
only if I knew how to do
that.
Just coming back to yesterday's game, were there any positives?
I think there was a bit of a positive, actually. So West Ham. Well, West Ham being the team that are quite in form at the moment, I think we matched them, even probably bettered them in some, you know, parts of the game. But I think both teams are a bit cagey, a bit risk averse anyway. So it just led to a game that looked like it was going to end up being a 0-0, and of course they sneaked the chance. So.
I just knew yesterday, you know, when Romero had a bit of argy-bargy with Fornals, was it, on the touchline, and got a yellow card, and the fans were getting on their side, and you just thought, you dickhead, what did you do that for?
Yeah,
they're going to go and win now, because it just rolls everyone up, doesn't it? It gets the crowd.
Oh God, it doesn't take that lot much to get rolled up either, does it? So, you know,
well,
as we saw in those clips. Yeah, they were trying to get at the Spurs fans, weren't they?
Yeah.
Oh God, sorry. No, sorry.
No, the Spurs fans were trying to get at the West Ham fans, weren't they?
Was that the Spurs fans?
Yeah. That was the Spurs lot. So,
right.
But I mean, it just shows what a tin pot stadium they've got there, where you've just got a bit of MDF up, before, you know, separating.
It was a bit ridiculous, yeah.
Setting up, separating the home fans and the away fans, and then you've got a massive void in between the top of the MDF and the roof, where you could just have missiles being launched.
I know, that seemed a bit odd, didn't it?
But what I find really odd is that, you know, blokes would go and they'll go and pay £5 for a pint if not more. I don't know how much it is for a pint at the London Stadium. And rather than drink it, they'll go and lob it at someone.
Some of it didn't look exactly like beer, though.
Yeah. It's probably bad beer.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was all a bit handbags, really, wasn't it? I mean, I saw a different view from upstairs of it on a video that was sent on WhatsApp, and someone went and kicked the door in. It's just one of these ones where the Spurs fans went running towards the West Ham, and it's like they all stand there as if this imaginary brick wall is separating the two of them. They're just standing there all jumping about, just they're just jumping about. And then I saw some bloke pulled out a walking stick and was twatting the West Ham fans. And
what?
Thinking, when you watch that video back that you sent on the group, Andy, you will see about a minute into it, there's a bloke with it must have been some sort of walking stick, or he had a fold up something in his pocket that he may have used to back some people around.
That was his weapon
before the game. Yeah, that was his weapon, and it was quite bizarre, really, wasn't it? But it's probably the only bit of excitement that the Spurs fans sort of had yesterday afternoon. But this is the thing, isn't it? With London derbies and that, and the hatred between two sets of fans, and most of that lot were probably drinking and doing God knows what else since 6-7 in the morning. And
I'm sure
it just all boils over, doesn't it? And it just appeared to be sort of handbags in the end and that. But
presumably they were just looking for trouble anyway, weren't they? I mean,
but obviously just a bit stupid kicking off inside a stadium, isn't it? Where you've got loads of security cameras and every other bastard there's just drinking a pint and holding their phone up, filming it, and then posting it on Twitter and social media.
Yeah, just helping the police out. Fantastic.
Exactly. Well, if I can, I'm just gonna. If we just do a little bit of, a bit of a numbers game here. Absolutely disappointing that we didn't win or even draw and take a point. And it's games like yesterday. It's games like Palace that are going to do us the damage because of all the we don't live. Let's just put it down there. So we're not winning London derbies this season. Right, let's just put that out there.
Okay, right.
Let's just put that out there.
That's our thing.
It's our thing, I think, this season. That's going to be our theme, a running joke. But, the Palace thing, that hurt us a bit. Obviously, that's dropping points and a bad goal difference. Chelsea, put to a side, they're top of the league. Let's assume we were going to lose to them anyway.
Yep.
Arsenal, we might have got a draw. I think, again, it's down to these fine margins of dropping a point here and there, which are going to cause us a problem. But even so, we're still 9 games in, so a quarter of the way through the season. And I know I'm the guy who says, we're only 10% of the way through the season. We are only quarter of the way through the season.
We are.
We are in 6th, 15 points. Our goal difference is the thing that hurts us at the moment, -4.
It's pretty bad, yeah.
West Ham United are on 17 points. So the gap is, but they do have a positive goal difference of 6. So our goal difference is, is 10 points, which is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
But my point, I suppose, is coming out yesterday with a point would have made a difference, right? Because we would be, because Manchester United had such a bad day. I think if I work this out rightly, we'd be clinging on to 4th. We're not that far away from it. It isn't that much of a disaster. The issue that we've got is that we have to find a way to not have this consistently. I can't be sitting here in January going, but we're only halfway through the season. It's not that bad, lads. We're only 9th or 10th. It's okay at the minute because it's the guy's first season. He's still trying to find out what works. However, I'm not sure that we can be convinced that he's, the Sudoku or the Rubik's Cube. We're actually seeing 2 or 3 sides form yet, and it's nearly there. Was Newcastle a one-off because that combination has been disproved against West Ham, or is it something else? Because I'm not saying it's a disaster. We should burn the place to the floor yet, but we are on the edge of that. We have to find out what works before it becomes not unsalvageable, but becomes a bit difficult again.
But the big concern is that regardless of what team you put out in the Premier League, you've got Premier League standard players in the squad allegedly. What is concerning? You should be able to put out any team on a match day and at least have a shot on target in 45 minutes.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not going to defend. I'm not going to defend that wholesale performance or anything like that. Absolutely not. I'm just kind of. I totally agree with that. So what's not clicking?